That's my friend.
He asked me the question, and so I was gonna tell you when he asked me that. When we left off the chat, I'm like, how can the Yetahara? So Richard, the question was before I start the halachot.
Rabbi, did you start recording? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we are on live. Yes, just started.
Okay, good.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
cool.
Yeah, we are. I was gonna say that Joe asked me a question. He said how, because we said that the Yetahar, the evil inclination, Richard, is born with a person. So he asked me a question, how can the evil inclination be born with a person if the parents have an obligation to teach a child what's right or wrong? Like, how can the evil inclination be born with you? And I thought about it at the time when he was asking me the question. I thought initially it was a good question.
He just joined on, Rabbi. He's just joined on.
There he is.
Oh, Joe, how are you,
Hey,
Joe?
Joey.
Joe, how are you? I was thinking about
Joseph,
your question.
You had a very good question last week.
Yeah, I was very bothered by your question. Like, how can the evil inclination be born with us if we still, as a child, as children, we don't know what's right or wrong? But you know what hit me? Like our rabbis of blessed memory say, you learn more Torah from the students than you learn yourself. Why am I saying that? Because when the Zohar Kodesh says that a person is born with it, you know what means born with it? It's God forbid chas v'shalom. Like, look, if a person is born with a defect, it has nothing to do with his parents educating what's right or wrong. Same thing with the evil inclination. It has nothing to do with the parents educating you what's right or wrong. The bottom line is when a person is born, when a child is born, automatically he is born with the evil inclination. So really it's not contingent upon the parents educating us if it's right or wrong. You understand, Joe? You with me or not? I mean, your question was a very good question. I was bothered throughout Shabbat. But then I realized, why did you have to say born with it? Say it again?
I'm listening.
So I was going to tell you when it says born with it, it's like, a person is born a boy. He can't change that. A person is born a girl, or you're born into a family. The fact that he uses the language born, it comes with you as a package, not something that I can change. It's not something that I can do anything about it. So I hope that answers your question, Joe. I mean, I was thinking about it. It didn't make sense to me. But then when I looked over the words again, when something is born with somebody, it's like an inheritance. You don't ask for it. It just comes. You're right. You haven't taught what's right or wrong, but the bottom line, it's there.
We like to test to see what we get away with from childhood. We like to see our boundaries.
Correct.
That's what I believe. And personally, listen, I don't know how to say this, I have a big idea in my head. I want to get together with some rabbis and talk about it, but it's a lot of weight on my shoulders when I actually think about it.
Go ahead, speak to me, Joe. Speak to me, Joe. We're open, Joe.
Energy.
We're live and we're open. Speak to me, Joe.
Okay, so I have crazy energy. I don't know who knows me, who doesn't know me, who believes
Joe,
me.
this is being recorded, by the way, Joe.
Okay, I got you. So some people, they could call you nuts, but in the end of the day, sometimes later they're like, he was right. And I feel that about myself, and I have these thoughts going through my head all the time. I'll give you an example. Right now, I went to the DMV, and as soon as I came in Rockaway DMV, it was all Pakistani, Bangladeshi, blacks, and that's it. Not a single Jew I saw. And they gave me a ticket. I went to the front. I sat in the second row, and in the third row behind me on my right was a black dude. He was probably about 6'2" at least, braids in his hair, and he's listening to a podcast on his phone. And I hear, it could have been Stephen Smith or somebody talking, and I heard them talking about Christians and Jews against blacks or some stuff like this, something on his phone. And I looked at him, and I was thinking about initiating a conversation with him. I'm like, nah, these people, I can't debate with them, So then I went outside to smoke. On the way out, the Jewish guy was walking in, and my wife was sitting all the way in the back. I was sitting in the front, right in the second row. The black guy was on the right, across the aisle in the third row. And the Jewish guy comes in with his kippah, and I'm calling my wife to tell her as a joke, if this guy needs my help, let me know. But my wife, oblivious, whatever, she didn't even hear me. I didn't say anything to her. The guy walked in, and I walked out. I come back in. This guy is sitting in the third seat behind where I was sitting. And I sat in my seat where I was in the second row. And all of a sudden, this black guy across is Naijait yelling at this Jewish guy, asking him, what tribe are you from? He's telling him.
Right.
And the guy looks at him. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, out of the 12 tribes, what tribe are you from? And this guy is like, there's 10 tribes. The guy is like, no. So I'm like, what do you want to know? I said, the Jews all spread out. I said, when we got exiled from Jerusalem. And long story short, I don't know. This guy was basically looking to start an argument. The real Jews were black Jews. He starts telling me, I'm like, and I tell him, yeah, I'm sure maybe one or two of the tribes were black. I'm sure there was a tribe of redheads.
Joe, let's get back on track. So, Rabbi, what was the point that you were trying to make?
No, but you should know, one second, but you should know we do have black Jews. You should know that.
I believe it.
You
I
have
believe
100%. You have a lot of Jews that were scared. Unfortunately, we do come, from the tribe of Yaakov. I mean, from which exact tribe we come, we don't know that. We don't know from where we come.
I'm not doubting it, but today,
no, but we do have. You do have.
Today, there's a lot of hate coming from all sides,
I hear.
The black Jews hating the Jews, the neo-Nazis hating the Jews, the lefties hating the Jews, the Muslims hating the Jews. So I feel like it's our responsibility not to convince them that we're also people like them and we're not the enemy, even though there might be stuff going on from the government perspectives where they're using us against each other to push their narrative. And I was explaining to the guy behind me after this, I walked away, I was talking to this Jewish guy and I was telling him, honestly, I believe a lot of stuff that they say. The people that are in charge, they don't care about us at the end of the day. They're the same ones that pushed the COVID on us. They're the same ones that basically allowed 9/11 to happen, even though the Muslims did it. I'm sure Joe, they were allowed to get away with it. It didn't happen out of nowhere. And I start telling this guy, I'm like, you really believe that October 7th happened by accident and they didn't know it was coming in today's day and age with the era of technology? You think that, I said, when we start saying that our leaders are using us, then we could start expecting them to view us differently and see us.
Joe, this is for a later day, later time.
No, I hear what you're saying, Joe, but
to me, that's the main concern today.
I do want to tell you, Joe, you're bringing out a very strong point, and this is why our rabbis of blessed memory say, you can never ever trust anyone, and you gotta trust what the Torah says, what the Shulchan Aruch says, because you never know who's in it for themselves. So this is basically, it answers your question. You gotta follow what the Torah says. And I don't, not what leaders do, what he says, what she says, what people think of us. I have to understand what Hashem thinks of us, what's written in our Torah. You understand? So it'll make your life much easier when you're looking at it through that perspective and not worrying about what the world has to say about you. Okay, guys?
But then the best defense is a good offense. And you have to be prepared for whatever's coming.
I'm not telling you not to be prepared, but you have to understand everything is under divine providence from God. Nothing happens in this world.
So here's what I'm saying. So I believe, we all have different purposes. And I don't know if you're going to believe me or not. On Sukkot, 1 week before October 7th, I told my family, I feel like something's about to happen in Gaza. I feel it boiling. Those were the words that I used. Something is boiling in Gaza. Right. And they looked at me and they told me, what are you talking about? Israel surrounded by enemies and nobody could do anything. And a week later, I was sitting in my car watching everything unfold and I was crying. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I just said that. In my life, I've said many things that have happened before.
So the Gemara, Joe, the Gemara does bring down, whenever you have these intuitions, there's a reason why you're feeling it. Because it's like Wi-Fi, God is sending you signals, to wake you up. It could be in anything. Sometimes you're driving and you feel that there's a cop there. Why you automatically think that there's a cop there? Because Hashem is like Wi-Fi. He's sending you down. Because remember, our soul is able to see past than what me and you are able to.
Not all of us. We're all on different frequencies.
You have. Joe, everybody has the inner feeling. Everybody has it. Everybody has it, Joe. Everybody has this feeling that God gives you to a certain extent, you're able to feel what goes on. You're going to get a ticket or something might bad happen or X, Y, like you just felt that. I mean, again, by the way, the Gemara also says that a lot of the things that happen, we bring it upon ourselves. Negative attraction brings negative results. You understand? So whatever you think of, that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay, so, there's a lot to be said on this.
Rabbi, is that when we're thinking or speaking?
No, even thinking. When a person thinks negative, you attract negative energy.
You're afraid. And they call you.
No, Jagadik, if you look at, you have a child that's riding a bicycle, correct? He's doing fine. Oh, no, don't fall. Bam, he fall. You just created the reality for the child. That's why the rabbis of blessed memory, they say never use any negative connotation for your children. Don't call them stupid. Don't call them crazy. Don't call them a bum. Because you make it into reality, eventually they're going to become that. You understand? You shouldn't use negative words on anybody. You understand? You want to speak nice. So this you give them a hope. You know, when you speak down on somebody, you break their spirit. You understand? So it's not only speaking, it's also thinking. Whatever you think, that's what you attract. But if you think good things will happen. Yeah? Okay, guys, I want to get into today's halakha. Very, very important halakha. Wow, let me see how much time we're going to have. But I want to bring down in Chazon Ovadia, Richard, this mitzvah that we're about to learn now is more applicable for the woman. Because Richard, who made men die? Who created, because of them, men started dying. People started dying. Put it to you like this. Who was at fault?
Richard, it's not your first wife.
He wants me, he's leading me to say women.
No, but that's how it was. Chava, right?
Sorry, I'm sorry, Rabbi. Remember, we're all created equal, Rabbi.
Right. No, I'm not talking we're not created equal. I don't know if you were equal. I mean, if you, okay, let's say equal, Richard. But if you look...
I'm sorry, Rabbi, one question. Is this going to get a little risque, this conversation?
What? What is it going to get?
Is it going to get a little over your comfort level?
No, it's a regular law.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, so what happened was when, Chava, Adam and Chava, right, Adam and Eve, when she told them, go ahead and touch the tree and then eat from the tree, so she brought death to the world. Correct? She brought death to the world. How were men, how were we formed? We were formed like a dough. So therefore the law says that there is a mitzvah on a woman on Erev Shabbat, on the eve of Shabbat, before Shabbat, to prepare dough in honor of Shabbat. Because since she destroyed men, she has to fix it by making dough on Shabbat. Now it's not so simple like I'm saying it. Jigarik, are you with me or not? Mike, are you guys with me? Watch this. I want to show you what I mean. Whenever we make dough, correct? I don't know if you guys heard the word challah. You guys know what means challah? Anybody know what means challah? Nobody knows what means challah.
The bread? You're talking about the
All right, so when
bread?
you buy bread for Shabbat, we call it challah, correct? But it's not called challah. It's not called dough. It's called lechem. It's called bread. So why do we say challah for Shabbat? Why do we use that terminology that it's a dough for Shabbat? Because you have to remember, when a woman starts making 1,560 grams of flour, so you have to measure this, Richard. A woman has to take a bowl. She has to put it on a measurement, like on a measuring, what do you call those machines? And once she reaches 1,560 grams of flour, after that, that's almost, I think, right around 5 pounds. After that, what does she have to go and what does she have to do? She has to go ahead and now she's going to mix it with salt, pepper, whatever, water, egg. But now once it becomes dough, she has an obligation to remove part of that dough from the bread. That over there is called challah. What I'm removing is called challah. Now you ready for the shigarik? She can't just remove it, she has to say a bracha. Right? The blessing is Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvata v'tzivanu lahafrish challah, and then she separates it, and then she says, Richard, harei zo challah. She said, this is challah. What she has to do with that bread? You can't eat it. You can't even throw it in the garbage. You have to burn it. You take a foil, you put it wrap it up with foil. I don't know, burn it in the oven or burn it on fire so it becomes like, where it's not edible, and then you could throw it away. Because that's basically like a holy bread. So there is a mitzvah on women to go and make challah on Erev Shabbat. So this is the law. Richard, is this clear? No. Guys, are we clear or no? You guys are looking at me like I'm like stoned or something. Huh?
Yeah, it's very clear.
It is clear, but the question is, why do we have to cut that part? Like, what's the purpose?
So I'm explaining to you, since she brought death to the world through Adam, through the first man, she has to make it up because the men, we were made through
How
needing.
does that make up? I mean, how does that make up for it? Forgive me.
Why did she brought death to the world?
Yeah, she brought death. When you listen to your wife, you bring death. I'm messing with you. Yeah. No, because it said that.
But Adam didn't die.
Why? But up to them, people were supposed to live. No, he did die. Eventually, he did die. before he ate from the tree of knowledge, whatever you want to call that tree, there's different opinions on what the tree was. But before he ate from the tree of knowledge, people were supposed to live forever. Because of Adam, since he listened to Chava and he ate, that's why their death was brought to the world. So, Jigari, to answer your question, it's a tikkun, it's a rectification. Just like she destroyed the dough of the world, which is people, she has to rectify it. She can't just eat bread. When she's making dough, she has to go ahead and she has to separate that portion before she bakes bread. It doesn't have to be on Shabbat. It could be any time. You want to make pizza for your children. It doesn't matter. Anytime she's making 1,560 grams or 1 point, I think it's like kilograms, I think it's like 1.56 kilograms. Once you automatically, you have to go ahead and you have to remove this piece of dough, and that in a way is going to fix. You're asking how it's going to fix it? That's the mitzvah that's placed on them. It's like a fine for them to going ahead and taking it out. All right, guys, is this
Rabbi,
clear?
I'm sorry. When did the commandment to multiply come?
Right in the beginning, when Hashem said that He gave the land that we should be fruitful and multiply.
But if that came in the beginning, right?
No, so
after Chava.
So Mike, no, we were created. Men were created on Erev Shabbat. We were created on Friday, basically. Correct?
Okay.
We were created on Friday. And then there was a mitzvah that from them too, the whole world was going to continue to go ahead and, continue to procreate from them too. But in the beginning, Hashem made Adam and Eve from the ground. He made like mud. Like, you have to take clay, that's how He made them. Like dough, that's how He did it. He formed them.
I understand that, but my question is around how could God create man and woman and give the commandment to multiply and procreate without death?
What does one have to do with another?
You can't just, because how can you just procreate?
Not true, Mike. Initially,
the earth is finite.
It
can't support an infinite of procreation.
No, why not? Eventually, B'ezrat Hashem, that's what we're expecting to happen after the whole world comes, whatever, I don't know how to expect, I don't know the end of days, but after everything is said and done, all the people that passed away are going to get up and they're going to live forever. Our whole job was just to serve God, that's all it was. That we should only bring God's glory into the world, that's all we're going to do. There's going to be no more death, no more pain, no more wars. That's what we're looking for the future world to be. You understand? But that's after everything, we have a long way to go. So it's not, so Mike, there is such a concept that we should have lived forever. I forgot there are a few people that they never died. God took them, they had no sin, they couldn't die. So God took them alive because they couldn't die. No, you do have a concept where people could have lived. It's just Chava, she brought death to the world. Okay, so I just want to round up the halakha. Jigari, you with me? If a woman, again, so there is a mitzvah placed on the woman because since she brought death to the world, she has to fix it by doing dough on Erev Shabbat and taking out that piece of dough. Now, I want to explain to you how important this is. A lot of women don't do it if they don't have time. They go and they buy from the stores. Fine. But I want to read for you something in Masechet Shabbat. Over here, he says like this, guys. He says like this, Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said, Amar Rav, in the name of Rav, Kol ha'me'aneget Shabbat. Anybody who delights in the Shabbat. Listen to this, Jigarik. Notaninu lo misha'alot libo. They're going to give him his heart desires. I don't think you understand what I'm saying, Jigarik. A lot of things we can't express to God. Or either we don't have time, either we're on the run, or either we can't just express it. But there's a lot of things our heart wants, correct? If you want your heart desires to come true, you want to honor Shabbat. One of the ways of honoring Shabbat, if a woman makes challah, what we call quote-unquote challah, this bread, on Erev Shabbat for Shabbat. When she makes this, she has that promise. It's not only making bread, also we spoke about having good food, having good drink. So if anybody is able to go out and delight in Shabbat, meaning like this, Jigarik, if what I'm eating now is because of Shabbat, what I'm drinking is because of Shabbat, whatever I'm doing is because of Shabbat, say for example, cleaning the house or preparing the bread, In all of these situations, because of that, Hashem is going to give you your heart desires without even you expressing what you need. So it's not a simple thing, and that's it's the law in the Shulchan Aruch. He brings it down that the custom is women should try to go ahead, and a lot of women, unfortunately, have fallen off from this practice. We need a lot of things. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's easy to do, because it does take a lot of, it's a whole process. My wife, thank God, she makes sourdough on Erev Shabbat. I can't eat anything but sourdough. So she makes sourdough. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. When your wife makes the bread versus you going to the store and just buying the bread. You could compliment her, you could say nice word here and there. Again, it's a very different feeling. Again, but if she cannot do it, she's able to go ahead and she's able to buy the bread in the store. Okay.
Rabbi, quick question on sourdough. Does it have the same mitzvah as challah, or there's no separation?
No, it has the same mitzvah as challah. Exactly the same mitzvah as challah. It doesn't have to necessarily be sourdough. It could be regular bread. Even if you're baking cake or you're making mitzvah. Anything that comes into baking, you have to be able to go ahead and do this mitzvah. But you have to understand, I want to make this clear. But if the woman is using, let's say, less flour, let's say she's using 1,000 grams of flour, or 800 grams of flour, over there we're going to tell her she's not allowed to say the blessing of Havrashat Challah. She'll take away a little bit of the dough, burn it, but she's not allowed to say the blessing. The only time you're allowed to say the blessing is if you're taking 1,560 grams of, if you're weighing 1,560 grams of flour, then once it becomes dough, then you're allowed to go ahead and take a piece with a blessing. Okay, now, is this clear, guys? I want to move on to the ethical teaching, yes?
If it's under 5 pounds, you're not going to have to burn anything.
Right, no, but you still have to take it away. You have to take it away, but you don't say a blessing. Yes, Leo?
Yeah.
Okay, if it's under 800 grams, over there we're going to tell you don't have to take anything because it's a very low amount. It's not enough to obligate you in separating the piece of dough. Okay, Rabotai, I want to continue from what we started speaking about. When we started speaking about last time that the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said that the evil inclination is born with us, correct? Now, why is that important to know? I want to share with you. Because this is where's Mike? Mike is still here. Where Mike? Mike is right there. Mike, if you remember, we continued the conversation. If our choices are basically, tampered with, right? And the whole point of the conversation was, I want to just show you over here. It says in the ethical teaching of the fathers, in chapter 2, in Mishnah, let me just see which Mishnah this is. In Mishnah 4, he says like this. Hillel, I believe it was Hillel. Yeah, Hillel says, I want to just share this with you. Don't trust yourself until the day of death. I don't know, is Joe here or not? No, he left. All right, hopefully
he's there.
He's here? Okay, I don't see him.
Yeah, right there.
Where?
Joe.
He's here.
Okay, maybe he's in the fine. So okay, fine. I want to show you guys, what does it mean now? This is what I want to show you. Don't trust yourself until the day of death. Why? Since we're being influenced by everything outside of us, don't trust yourself. If it's not in according with the Torah, don't go with that logic. Because if you're going to go with that logic, you're going to be finished. I want to read for you over here. Rabbeinu Bechai, unbelievable rabbi, he says like this. What does it mean, don't trust yourself? Now, I don't know how many of you guys can understand the Hebrew, but I have to read it. Lo tismok al chokhmotecha. Do not rely on your wisdom. Don't think, even though you know, don't rely on your wisdom. Ve'al emunotecha, and do not rely on your own faith. Don't think you know it. Why? Shelo tikashal, because we do not want you to stumble. Shekol zman she'ata omed b'chaim, as long as you are alive, I want you to know with every decision that you make, Yetzer hara, the evil inclination, is mixed in with that decision. You like it or not, you got it. You understand? I don't want to bring examples now. I'll have to. I can't help it. Somebody told me one time, Rabbi, I'm with my wife, and I'm thinking about another girl. From where is she coming? That's the whole, even when you want to do something with your wife, or even you want to go, you're just standing in the store, or I don't know, you want to go shopping or something, somehow you want to look somewhere you're not supposed to, correct? Or you want to say something you're not supposed to. Why is this coming to you? Because the evil inclination is influencing you to do the wrong thing. So he says over here, Rabotai, listen to this carefully. Yetzer hara hu orev. You know what the evil inclination does? He ambushes you in order to make you sin. So Jigari, you think you're sitting in the office, you have nothing going, correct? No big deal. He'll make it happen that two, three nice girls are going to pass by you, or they're going to stop by you, and they're going to say, Jigari, how are you? And what are you going to do? How many of us shake hands with women? By the way, you know what happened today? Jigari, I had the detectives come to my house. I'm like on the ring cam. Why did detectives come to my house? Whatever.
Oh, I heard there was a robbery on your block, right?
Yeah. So the woman, very nice lady. I felt. Listen, what am I supposed to do? I can't shake her hand, correct? So the guy walks in, very nice people. He walks in, and then she walks in. So now she stretches out her hand to me. She says, "Hello, nice to meet you." What am I supposed to do?
You don't know, Rabbi. She don't know who she rolling with.
No, so you know what I told her? I told her, I'm so sorry. I fell and my hand hurts. Because I fell. You remember I fell on ice after I came back. So I said, I can't shake woman's hand. What am I supposed to tell her? I was one time in a store, in a T-Mobile store, and there was a girl behind the counter. So she reaches out her hand to shake with, so I said, I can't shake your hand. She says, why not? I said, I'm married. She says, I'm also married. I go, look, whatever it is, I can't shake your hand. I guess she got offended. But I'm asking you guys a question. Hashem sends us these tests every single time. How do you act? Jigari, can I take you for example? Out of 10 times, how many times do you say no to women when they shake your hands? Bad example. Huh? I won't pick at Jigari. I love you, man.
So I'll be out. It happened to me one time. It was in shul on Shabbat.
Ruben, this is being recorded, Ruben.
No, I know. My wife knows I shake women's hands. I don't care. I'm scared. No, but it happened to me one time on Shabbat in House of Torah, where I guess it was like a family friend. She forgot where we are. And I said, listen, we're Shabbat. Come on, don't do this.
But, Rabotai, as you know, it's funny, but he says the Yetzer Hara is always waiting in ambush in order to make us sin. So we're never free from his influence on us. You don't have an enemy like him. That's why I want to tell Joe, we don't have to worry about what happens around us. It's all about working on ourselves. Once we're good with Hashem, everybody's going to leave us alone. But you know the real problem is, Shigarik? We, the Jews, don't have achdut. We don't have oneness amongst each other. We don't like each other. You think people are going to come on. It's nothing to do with them. The Gemara clearly says that whatever happens in the outside world is only because of the Jewish people. It's not because of them. Hashem wants to wake us up to come back to Him. So that's what He's telling you over here, Jigarik. You don't have an enemy like the evil inclination. Why? Because a regular enemy, once you defeat him 2 or 3 times, you want him forever. He'll never return. Right? He gives up hope. Aval Yetzer Hara, even if you're going to beat him 100 times, he'll never give up. He'll never give up on you. He's not going to even loosen himself even one moment from you. That's why he says, That's why don't trust yourself until the day of your death. Mike, we have to try to go. That's why we have to learn. We have to learn as much Torah as possible to make sure that the decisions we were making in life are the decisions based off Torah. If it's the decision based off the Torah, we have nothing to worry about. But if I'm now putting my 2 cents to what I think is right, I have a problem. I'm going to give you another example. Right? Anywhere people want to invite me, so I don't attend a party if it's not separate, or even people want to invite me, to a pool party or a beach party. I'm not going to go. They're going, oh, why? But it's your mother, your father, your brother, your mother-in-law, you did. Doesn't matter. I try to stick what the halakha says, what the law requires of me. If they're not allowed to be there. I'm also not allowed to be there. But it makes my life that much easier. I don't care who you are. You could be a friend, you could be a companion, you could be my boss. It doesn't matter. If the law does not allow me, I'm not going to do it. Not that I don't want to do it. I want to do it as much as you guys want to do it. But what? Don't trust yourself until the day of death. When you have this principle, when you live with this principle, life becomes much easier. Jigari, your wife says, let's go to this place. Let's go here. Let's eat not kosher. Let's do this. Let's go dance. No. Certain things you cannot do. And you don't feel bad about it. Do you know why? Because you're making the correct decisions in life. That's what you want. But if you are now, you're going to put your feelings, you're going to start, what is my wife? I don't want to upset her, shalom bayit. What are my in-laws going to say? What is this going to say? Once you start thinking like that, there you have the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, has all the influences. And Mike, I want to tell you something. If it's not coming from the wife, it's going to come from the in-laws. Not from the in-laws, from your friend. The evil inclination has thousands and thousands of angels that are able to do his job. He doesn't only come by himself. He sends other people in as a disguise to make us sin. That's why we have to be very careful when it comes to making decisions, not to make decisions based on what we think jigaric, but rather making decisions based on what the Torah tells us. And I'm going to give you an example, Arthur. How many times do you have in the morning, when you wake up in the morning and it's hard? Honestly, it's difficult. Especially if you're waking up 4:30 in the morning, it's hard. Why have to get up early in the morning? But if you say, but this is what the Torah requires from me, to wake up before dawn, because that is the law in the Shulchan Aruch. So what's the question? Is it a battle? It's a battle. But do I have to do the right thing? I have to also try to go ahead and do the right thing. All right, guys, if you have any questions, I'll take. If not, we'll end right over here.
Rabbi, I have a question a little bit off topic.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. One on two.
Go first.
So, last night of Hanukkah,
Yeah.
right? I had a very interesting experience.
Let me hear.
I have the cups with the oil. I've been lighting every day. Everything has been fine. Last night, it started actually Saturday night. After Shabbat, I went out. I had a party. I came back. I lit the candles. I had one candle that refused to stay on. It refused to stay on. I lighted. It turns on. 10 seconds later, it turns off. I fought with it for 15 minutes. I gave up. Then last night, I put all the candles on. 5 candles won't stay on. 4 of them won't even light. I tried lighting with the candle. I tried lighting with the lighter. I tried lighting with the match. I tried lighting with the torch. It won't stay on. I even swapped out. I had extra ones. I swapped out. Ultimately, at first I got 4 on with the Shamash plus 3. Then after like 20 minutes, I tried again. I got 5 on. The other 4, they wouldn't go on no matter what I tried. What do? I gave up after a certain point.
So
you got 3 more nights of Hanukkah. I don't know other candles.
No, so you did, the mitzvah is only 1 per every night. That's the mitzvah. You did the mitzvah. Everything else is already extra. Huh?
So it doesn't, not all 8 had to be on yesterday?
No, we prefer, that is the best way to do the mitzvah, but according to the letter of the law, 1 is enough. I light 1 and the rest I give to my children to do, so they can be part. But the mitzvah is 1 candle per night. Every day it has to be at least 1 candle, minimum, half an hour. Yeah, so you're fine. You're fine.
So Rabbi, he doesn't have 3 more days left of Hanukkah?
No, Mike, you're fine. You lit 1 candle. Even the other ones that you lit before, Mike, as long as they stayed on for 10 seconds, since initially they were able to stay on half an hour, you do the mitzvah 100%. Even if it goes off after, it's not my problem. You're not obligated to relight it. You don't have to sit there and kill yourself. You did the mitzvah, finish.
Poor Mike is reading into it.
No, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
I was fighting with it for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
No. As long as you light and you know everything is with all normal standards, no wind, nothing, and it's normal. As long as you lit and you know it's going to stay for 30 minutes and whatever happened, it didn't go, that's not your problem. You're not responsible for that. Hashem does not expect, Mike, God does not expect results from us. God expects effort. You did the effort, that's what counts. He doesn't look at the results. The results come from Him. Effort comes from us.
Okay.
Arthur, what do you want to say?
Wow, that was beautiful.
Well, the whole class, that's beautiful, Jigari. Okay, fine.
The results come from him. The effort comes from us. I think we all have it in the reverse.
This is a nice ending. I'm going to leave my question for later.
Okay.
Ask the question.
He wants to know if he could get on the sourdough plan, Rabbi. I see him checking me out every Saturday, every Friday.
No, my wife, she makes it. She donates, but she makes both. She makes challah for the mitzvah and sourdough.
Sourdough is also challah. Sourdough is same thing.
Okay. No, my question was about Yetzer Hara. You're saying the way at least I understood was that you have less Yetzer Hara if you follow the mitzvot and if you follow the Torah.
You're not that you have less at the art. Not that you have less. It's easier to make the more right decisions if you follow the Torah, the Yitzhak is going to only grow with you.
Right.
No,
That's what I thought.
No, it's going to grow, but it's
easier.
It's easier for you to do the mitzvah if you go with the Shulchan Aruch. It's much easier.
You have more clarity, basically.
Exactly. That's exactly having more clarity. Exactly. You're more clear in your decision making. Correct.
Rabbi,
Yes.
if my daughter makes every Friday challah, right? If something left, I gotta put in a foil and put in the oven, right? If there's something left.
No, Isaac. So when we speak about this challah, before she even bakes it, she has to take out a small piece before she even bakes it.
Oh, okay, she knows it.
Yeah, yes. Before
А
she.
если то, что остается, это халал, ты не можешь выбрасывать, правильно?
If you blessed on it, you could put it in a bag and put it in the garbage, but you shouldn't feed it to the birds. If you blessed on it, you shouldn't feed it to the birds.
To the birds, all right.
Okay,
Thank
but you could put it in the bag and you could put it in the garbage. But never throw away bread like that because that brings a person to poverty, chas v'shalom.
Wait, Rabbi. You're saying that
What are we supposed to do with the leftovers?
Птичкам надо давать.
Yeah, you could put it in the bag and then you could throw it away if you want.
Oh, you can't feed the birds with it?
The blessing, if you said hamotzi lech min haaretz on a piece of bread, since you blessed on that bread, you can't give that because it's a blessed bread. You shouldn't give it to the animals. No. Either
So wait,
eat. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Arthur. Go ahead.
No, I'm just curious. What do you do with it?
You either eat it throughout the week, but if it rots, then you put it in the bag and you throw it in the garbage. What do you
Because
do?
when it rots, it's already.
Yeah, then it's done. It's done. What's done is done.
So wait, I always have a lot of bread, but I'll take like 2 pieces and I'll have another 3-4 on the table.
No, but what are you blessing on, Jigarik?
The 2 pieces,
So
right?
that's two pieces are basically it's really one of them. You're just using the second one just as to have
Right.
double bread, but really you're blessing on one.
Yeah, but Rabbi,
Yeah.
I mean, we always have 2 big challahs. Nobody eats so much bread. Every Sunday I go and I give and I put it in the park. I even pick up all the challah from the shul and I give it to the park.
Okay,
I
so
give it to the animals in the park. What are you supposed to do with that?
So I'll
Throw
tell
it all
you,
away?
Dave. So I'll tell David like this. So if you have big challah, so let's say if I have this big challah, for example, so when I say chamotzi, I want to cut one half and I want to give that from that half to my family. So I know they're going to eat from that half, and the other half I could do with it whatever I want because I really bless on this half. You see what I just did?
Yes.
You understand?
Okay.
So that's why the Shulchan Aruch says you should make like a small indent where you're going to want to cut the bread.
Okay. Thank you, Rabbi.
No
Clearing
problem.
that up.
No problem.
It's our effort, but God's results.
Correct.
Rabbi, this was beautiful.
No problem, guys. No problem.
Ruben is
Thank you.
No problem, boys.
I'm gonna write that down on the wall right here.
Okay,
getting material.
okay, boys. I love you all.
Order us t-shirts.
T-shirt, right.
We learn.
Okay, guys. I love you all. I gotta run. I'll see you, boys.
Thank you, Rabbi.
No problem. I'll see you guys. Bye.
See you guys on tomorrow.
Bye. B'ezrat
Bye.
Hashem.
Bye.
Bye.